Good afternoon, everyone. If you can hear my voice, we are about to feed the penguins inside that June Keys penguin habitat. So come on over and watch our birds get fed. They're getting two types of fish, restaurant quality herring and capelin. And I am about to enter the habitat and begin the feed. So definitely come and check it out. You are looking at 23 Magellanic penguins, and they are very vocal right now. This is called braying. It's the way that they communicate, but right now it's pretty close to their yearly molt. So they've been spending a lot more time on land because when you are a molting penguin, it is called catastrophic. So you basically spend about 5 weeks on land fasting because you've been preparing for it ahead of time. And our birds are kind of getting ready to start bulking up for molt. They're starting to eat a little bit more than they had a couple of weeks ago. I am lucky enough to work with these birds 5 days a week, so I am their primary keeper. My name is Sara, and I'm going to go ahead and start feeding our birds. It's a little tricky to talk on the mic at the beginning of the feed, so I'm going to get off for just a few minutes, and once our birds have gotten situated and I've fed enough of them that they're not all around the bucket, I'll get back on the mic and tell you a little bit more about our birds. I thought he was going to keep braying. When they vocalize, it's pretty cool because it's showing excitement. They're trying to communicate with one another. It's kind of an exciting time because they're spending a lot more time on land than they typically would. Magellanic penguins can migrate about 1,000 to 3,000 miles a year. Penguins are called ocean sentinels because they basically tell us the health of the ocean. They like to forage for fish right off of the coast. That's also where shipping lanes and oil pollution can be. So if they're not healthy, then neither is the ocean. One of the ways you can protect these guys is by supporting MPAs or Marine Protection Acts. One of our penguins is named Dee. She's named after Dr. D. Boersma, who studies these animals in their natural habitat and has gotten their largest breeding colony, Punta Tombo, protected. And she's working on getting the ocean where they forage for fish protected too. I'm giving our birds two types of fish, both restaurant quality sustainable herring and capelin. If you wonder what sustainable means, it just means that the way the fish are caught does not harm the population of the fish nor the environment. Since our food is frozen and thawed out, it does lose some of its nutrients, but no, that's no big deal because we can just give our birds vitamins and they can get all of those nutrients right back into their fish. So everybody gets 1 vitamin a day. Everybody except Robbie has had at least 2 fish. This is Robbie right here. He's a little bit more concerned over protecting his burrow. So if you look behind me, there are 9 holes. Those are burrows or nests for our birds, and they can go in them whenever they want. They nest in there, they rest in there. They do pretty much everything that they don't want to do on exhibit in there. So they lay eggs, they take a break, but they only breed once a year. So it was breeding season a few months ago. Now it is time to molt, and then it will be time to migrate, and they'll spend almost all of their time in the water at that point. We have 23 Magellanic penguins here in our June Keys penguin habitat. 13 of them did hatch here at the Aquarium. 4 of them were rescued from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Pretty far north from where you typically find these guys. You usually find them in Chile and Argentina and the Falkland Islands. So some of those birds were deemed unreleasable. And different facilities have been able to take those birds on. They actually helped start our colony. They're the reason we have penguins here. All of our birds are just a little bit different. They all have different personalities like you and I. So some like to eat right away, some like to steal, some like to try to steal, and then when I feed them, they don't want to eat. Everyone's just a little bit different. And this is their second feed of the day, so it's a little bit more of a relaxed feed. The bird I'm trying to feed is Kate. She's one of our Brazilian rescue birds, and the bird that is trying to steal the food is Whatever. She's our oldest bird. She came to us from the San Francisco Zoo. She is 17 years old. And she is a challenge to feed sometimes because she likes to kind of get her food tossed to her. If I hand it to her, she doesn't necessarily eat it. If I do kind of a sideways fling by the bucket, she usually does eat the fish. But she can be quite picky with her food as well. So when you work with these birds, you do have to realize that everybody's a little bit different. What works for one bird might not work for another. That is Admiral Fancy Pants vocalizing for us right now. Actually, that is not. That was Matson. This is Admiral Fancy Pants right here. He has a pretty unique name. And they're not actually as food motivated as you think. They actually like to spend time hanging out on the deck. We do give them different types of enrichment, things that encourage physical exercise, mental stimulation, or animal husbandry, basically help us take care of them. So right now, even though Whatever is not eating any of these fish that I'm offering her, I'm getting a nice look at her face. I can kind of see in her mouth when she bites at the food. I can look at her flippers. I can look at her feet. I can make sure she looks healthy. If I do it too much, she thinks something's up. Lily's demonstrating that they're not the most agile on land. These birds are made for life in the ocean or an aquatic environment. They're really only on land in times of molt or to breed. Of course, our birds eat on land, so that helps bring them to us, but they know where the bucket is. You could pretty much put it anywhere in the habitat and they'll find it. If you're just joining us, I'm finishing up a feed for our penguins. I'm going to be feeding them again at about 4 p.m. And they know that, so they don't always eat at this feed. But we're doing pretty good. If you're interested in getting up close and personal with our birds, we do offer penguin encounters 3 days a week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We offer them before we're open, so you get a chance to watch our penguins walk around outside of their enclosure, which is pretty cool. Something I do for our birds for enrichment, even if we don't have guests. It's one of my favorite things to do with these guys. Kind of let them get curious and explore. I also love when they interact with the different animals. They interact with the rays, the shorebirds, the otters, the sea lions. Kind of have to wonder what both are thinking. So I'm going to head out of this habitat in just a few minutes, but I do want to thank you guys so much for supporting the Aquarium of the Pacific because we are a nonprofit institution. Your paid admission is going right back to these animals, whether it's to give them the food or health care that they need. So thank you guys so much. I'm just going to see if I can get whatever to eat a couple of fish here. And I almost did, but the gull took them. All right, that's going to be the end of the feed because our birds are pretty much done eating. Thank you guys so much and enjoy the rest of your day here.